What's up there, guys? I figured since I was sitting down doing all these videos, might as well do a video on what makes my Glocks rock. Now, don't be fooled that every video you see that I was shooting a modified Glock. I wasn't. Alright? But some of my videos you see, yes, I do shoot a modified Glock. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to share with you the modifications that I've made to just about all my Glocks. Now, alright, let's start from the bottom, work our way up. Okay, let's start with the grip. Okay, the very first thing I always do is I grip out my guns. Alright, I have not done that for my Glock 26 yet because I always carry it so close to my body. I really don't want it scratching up my shirts. There is other type of material that you can get, but I use Talon Grips. Okay, Talon gun grips make a lot of good Glock grips. I think they make both rubberized and sandpaper style grips. These things work perfect. Alright, if you put this in your hand, try to turn it, this thing goes nowhere. Watch the difference. Here's my Glock 26. I can turn it with no problem. Now, if my hands get sweaty, that's a problem. Okay, again with this, if I just grab it, and you can see the force that I'm pushing, it goes nowhere. These grips work great. Alright, let's flip it over and look at this side. Okay, these are some modifications that come from Glock for free. Okay, because I'm in the Atlanta area, so if you go to Smyrna to the Glock factory, excuse me, they will change all this stuff out for free. Now let me tell you something. If you make your Glock Rock and you take it to Glock, they will take all your junk out. So you got to make sure that you let them know that you don't want them to remove any aftermarket part that you put in. Okay? Alright, so again, they put this in here, extended slide release. Alright, extended slide stop, slide release, whatever you want to call it. It's an extension. Alright, it's out just a little bit, you know, from the norm so that you can do your left-handed manipulations. Alright, if I was shooting left-handed, which I'm not normally a left-hander, okay, I can use my index finger to press up on it and lock my slide when I'm using something to pull my slide back. Okay, extended magazine release. A lot of people say they don't like these because on a defensive gun, because it always releases their magazine when they holster. Okay, yes, that will happen if you are carrying one of these in a holster that is, you know, fitting for that purpose. Alright, I do not have one of those in my Glock 26. Okay, this is a normal one in my Glock 26 and it works just fine for me. Okay, it works just absolutely wonderful. Alright, but for my Glock 17s, yes, I put extended mag releases because mostly training students use these things. I just want to make it a lot easier for them and a lot easier for me when I'm going through different type of drills. Alrighty, now these triggers have a 3.5 lone wolf distributor connector on them. Okay, the connectors are right here, this little thing here. If I was to take this apart, you'll see the little connector. If you look on eBay, you see them all the time. Okay, I am a lone wolf distributor, but I don't sell their parts open and freely. If somebody needs something, I can order it for you. But again, you can go to eBay and get the same products. My price may be a little bit cheaper, it just all depends. Alright, so I added the 3.5 lone wolf distributor connector. Your other option is doing a ghost connector. Alright, that's the ones with the little circle holes in them. I have been told that those stop the over travel in the trigger just a lot better than a little bit better than the lone wolf distributor. Alright, now what's the over travel? That's when you press the trigger and it goes to the rear and then it resets itself. Alright, it doesn't go too far before it catches, basically. Alright, so if I squeeze my trigger and let it come back forward, most connectors will cause the trigger to go back forward and have a little bit of space before you actually feel it catch again. Alright, with this over travel, it basically stops all that and only lets, you know, you can basically keep your hand connected to the trigger, keep your finger in contact with the trigger, and as soon as it resets, it'll stop instead of having that slight over travel. Also, what it does is just makes your trigger pull a lot smoother, because what happens is your trigger connector is at an angle, so it angles down instead of going straight back and straight down. It's like a smooth decline. Alright, the Glock connector, the 5-pound, goes straight back and down. This one goes at a smooth, like elevator downward angle. Alright, so it makes your trigger pull come back a little bit better. The other modification I did right here is, you see the spring in here. If you take off your top of your Glock, you'll see it. Alright, looks like I'm getting ready to lose power, folks. The trigger spring right here. Okay, if you take off your Glock slide, you'll be able to see it. Okay, it's a heavy trigger spring. Okay, what the trigger spring does is the trigger spring actually pulls the trigger rearward. Okay, so it helps it to pull back faster. Alright, a lot of people don't understand what the trigger spring does, but the trigger spring pulls the trigger back faster than your normal trigger spring. So you need a heavier trigger spring if you're trying to get a true light trigger. Okay, again, this is a true 3.5-pound trigger pull. Okay, now the only other modification that helps this trigger is underneath this little bitty thingy here, which is called a Plunger Safety. Alright, so basically it's your Plunger Safety spring. The spring is underneath this. Okay, you gotta take all this stuff off, drop your extractor, and then the plunger will fall out. Leave this up to the professionals. I know how to do it, okay? But leave that to the professionals. Do not allow somebody to play with your Glock that don't know what the heck they're doing. Alright? You don't do it too. You can watch YouTube on some videos, but if you're unfamiliar, you're unsure, you're just not feeling it, don't do it, people. There's a lot of parts to lose, especially taking this thing off. Alright? Because you got the spring inside of here. You got the safety plunger spring. You know, your striker spring won't fall off or anything, but that's pieces that you can lose. Alright? And go flying through the air. Alright? Anyhow, going back to the plunger safety spring, basically what this function does is as your trigger comes back, this piece here presses up on the plunger safety, alright, and it basically releases the striker, alright, the striker pin here, inside here, which is also where your firing pin is attached to. Okay, the whole striker piece, alright, striker pin is attached and the firing pin is on the front end. Alright, it all falls forward when this plunger spring is depressed. Okay, and what it is a lighter spring here. Alright, that means a couple different things for you. It can be bad for you if you drop the gun, because a lighter spring makes it a little bit lighter, so if you drop the gun, it's not as strong as the OEM spring, and when you press that trigger, it's a lighter trigger press, so it's going to move faster, you know, when pressed. Alright, not faster in speed, just it'll move faster because it's a light press is all it needs to release the striker. Alright, that's pretty much all I did. I will tell people all day long, do not change out your striker spring unless you're going to change out your actual whole striker assembly. Okay, they do, Longwolf Distributor does make a nice striker group that has holes through it that makes it a lot lighter, and it moves a lot better, but that's a competition thing. I would stay away from it if I was you. Okay, next thing I did was put a buffer technology buffer on here. Alright, this buffer goes inside of your slide right at the onset of the guide rod. Okay, as you see, my guide rod is brand new. I just had my Glocks repieced that Glock, so this thing don't even have dirt on it pretty much. But this is a brand new guide rod. But the guide rod fits right where the buffer is, right there. And what the buffer does, and the job of the buffer, is to prevent the metal of the slide from hitting the plastic here. Because they say after about 4,000 or 5,000 rounds, and you can see some pictures online where this metal has hit this plastic and just caused some devastation after about 4,000 or 5,000 rounds. So that's about it, ladies and gentlemen. That is it. Alright. You know, I put all this stuff on here. It makes my Glock a little bit better, I guess. You know, I shoot other people's Glocks and it don't feel any different to me, I guess, because I've been shooting so long. But as far as the things that it does for you, it can help you to increase your shooting speed and shooting accuracy and your follow-up shots. It can do that, but it still requires training. Just because you put modifications on your gun does not mean you're gonna become the greatest shooter in the world. Alright, you have to practice. Alright, people, if you don't practice, Bueller, alright, you will not become any better than the next man on the range right next to you. Alright, again, guys and gals, it has been my pleasure. If you find anything that I did not meet your requirements on, please do leave some comments. Send me a PM and make sure to subscribe. If you liked it, you know, throw some comments in. I like doing videos, I just don't have a lot of time doing videos. So that's why I decided to make a whole bunch of videos tonight. Go ahead and put some out. And every time I do training, I always do some type of taping where I can put videos out. Because I believe that, you know, the more people that are trained in this world carrying legal guns, the better off we will be. Alright? Gun control is hitting your darn target. Okay? If you do not know how to hit your target, you have no gun control. That's my outlook on gun control. You know, you guys stay in the game, support your gun rights peoples. You know, all day long support them, because you don't want to lose the right to bear arms. You do not want to lose the right to be able to defend yourself. Do not support the get rid of the no retreat law, because the no retreat law is for the good guy, not for the bad guy. That's about it, man. Another thing I did, I'm sorry, one more thing, is I put crayon inside of here. As you see, it's don't rub off. A lot of people say they can put enamel in here too, but I'm scared to do that because I don't know how to get the rest of it off. But the crayon was very easy. White crayon. It lasted for a long time. I just got to redo it. But it's been my pleasure. Y'all take it easy. I'm tired. It's like 12 o'clock at night. But I wanted to put these videos out for you guys. And that's it. I'm going to bed. Y'all have a good night. Peace out. And come do some training with me.